Happy Friday to you, everyone. I hope you're doing great. You know, Friday is typically the day of the week in which most people are most excited about. They're thinking, wow, the weekends, I've got plans for the weekends. Tough work week is finally over, and I'm really glad that it is. But I'm telling you what, lately, it seems like every day's a Monday. I kid you not, I've been getting tons of emails, and it just feels like we've got some dog training beatdown going on. People are just suffering from a beatdown. And now there's this new thing out there that I read about all the time. I hear about all the time, and people are posting on social media called the puppy blues. What the heck is that? Okay, owning a puppy is tough. Yeah, it is. Owning a dog can be tough at times. It has its great moments, but it also has its hard moments. And if you think that you were going to go out and buy some puppy and it's all going to be rainbows and unicorns and all is going to be great and everything's going to be just perfectly fine, hunky-dory, and you weren't going to go through puppy blues or get a dog training beat down, well then, you guessed wrong. And unfortunately, I worry about the dog suffering from it. So guys, I don't need that to happen. Let me tell you a little bit real quick on how you're going to beat this thing. First of all, just get used to it. In the military, we used to say, get comfortable being uncomfortable because suffering is unavoidable. You're going to suffer some when you own a dog. It's not just going to all be roses. We all have to work to have roses. We have to work to have that time in which we just go, wow, I love owning my dog. People look at me and Captain all the time and they go, man, I wish I had your dog. Man, you're so lucky. You got such a great dog. But then again, you have an Australian cattle dog and they're wicked smart and you do this for your living and I wish I could do that and I shut up. I worked my butt off to get Captain. Captain worked his butt off. No one got out of this free. I didn't get a get out of jail free card because I do this for a living. No, I had to do exactly what I'm going to preach to you and what I try to preach to you all the time so you can get to where I'm at. Yeah, it's great right now, isn't it, cattle dog? He's right here. Yeah, that's my buddy. You bet. But we work for it. So get used to this. Get used to being uncomfortable because that's just the way it's going to be for a while till your dog is trained. Suffering is unavoidable. But here's the good thing about it. Suffering creates problems. It does create problems. But problems generate the need for solutions. They do. And solutions create learning. And learning helps us to avoid that suffering again in the future. So embrace it. Embrace it. It's part of life. Part of life. Okay? And then here's what else you do. You don't buy into these quick fixes out there. There's all these books. Oh, 7 days to the perfectly house-trained puppy. Use it to start your fire in your fireplace this winter. That's about all that's good for. Oh, 1 week to the perfect nirvana state with your dog. Again, use it to clean up your dog's poop when you don't have a bag. Because that's not happening. That's not happening. But here's how it can happen. Let me give you 3 tips. 3 tips that you can use to own the dog that you want to own, to have that relationship that you see that I have with Captain. Here's what you do, because here's what I did, and this is what I held to Captain. Number 1, be a psycho about your standards. Hear that? Be a psycho about your standards. That means every time you're with your dog, when you give your dog a command, that's what it is. That very thing. When I say down, down happens. When I say sit, sit must happen. When I say stay, stay happens. I don't give commands that I cannot enforce when I'm first training my dog. The first couple of years in the relationship, if I'm starting with a puppy, maybe the first 6 months if I'm starting with an adult dog that I've rescued. Yes, you've got to be a psycho about your standards. You will only be able to relax your standards to a degree later on, like I can with Captain. I can let a little slip go and a little that go and a little pull go and a little get up from a down go. Yeah, because I can tighten that thing up like that in a blink of an eye. And I do it all the time. So be a psycho about your standards. Expect your dog to do exactly what you tell it to do. Expect yourself to be disciplined. Don't give commands, various commands. They have to be stereotyped, and the response has to be stereotyped. And that's going to take an effort because we all get lazy and we think, okay, the dog will for sure come to me when I call it. How are you sure about that? How do you know that? Don't let that slip. Don't start giving options B, C, D, and E. There are no options. I gave you a command to influence your behavior in such a way. S1, signal 1, will always require response 1, exactly what signal 1 intended. Under all conditions, it doesn't matter. That's a standard. That means that you're going to have to put a long line on that dog when you don't feel like putting a long line on your dog. That also means that you're going to have to keep your dog on a leash when you don't feel like putting your dog on a leash on a walk. You just want it to run loose. That's going to require you to require your dog to do exactly what you say, which means that it's not always going to be about a treat. It's going to be about the fact that, hey, I got this. Let this go. Here comes the dog approaching. I get it. You don't like it. I get that. Maybe you're afraid. Here, tell you what, move over here, switch. But then lean on me. I got it. Stand down. I'll take it from here. So there you go. Step 1, be a psycho about your standards. Number 2, believe it or not, create an enemy. Create an enemy. Yeah, look at this country. When did we rally together? When we had a common enemy. Yeah, you need to have an enemy every day in your life. And if you don't have one, you need to get to creating one. So what are enemies? What kind of enemies can you create? 1, other dogs and other people. Wow, my dog really is reactive when it approaches unfamiliar people, unfamiliar dogs. Man, that's the enemy. Why do I want to make them an enemy? So I will vanquish them. I will put my effort into solving this problem, to solve my suffering and my dog's suffering. I will make that effort because that is the enemy. Push towards something, not go to somewhere. Push against it. It's your enemy. Guests, make them your enemy. Man, my dog just loses it when guests come over. Okay, then your guests are your enemy. Beat them. Beat them. Think it through. I'm going to solve this. I will not fail. I will not relinquish to my enemy. No way. Time. That's mine. That's what I have. That's my enemy. Time. I am so busy. But so what? Shut up about being busy, Bryan. Make sure you put out quality videos every single day. And do it for a year because you said you'd do it for a year. And by golly, I'm doing it for a year. Yes, it stinks on some days. Yeah, I'm driving 9 hours, 10 hours. Got to do this, got to do that. Got this client over here I got to deal with. I got this veterinarian I have to deal with. I got my dogs doing this. I got my own personal life doing that. So what? Time's my enemy. So I'm going to beat it. I'm going to make time. I'm going to make sure I'm more efficient with my time when I train my dog. I'm going to carve out those moments because I know they're important. I know it is. Time is not going to defeat me. Not going to defeat you either. There's enough hours in every day. You just got to go dig them up. So quit belly aching about time, because everyone belly aches about time. Knowledge. Knowledge is an enemy. Knowledge. Are you sure you know what you're doing? Are you sure? Really? Really? Did you buy off on the very top thing when you went on to Google, the very first answer to your question? Is that the one that you read? Is that the one that you hold as the gospel? Seriously? Use some of that time that I just talked about to go do some more research. Walk into everything with a question. Walk into it with a hypothesis. What is the proximate cause of this behavior? Yeah, you get to guess. Then write down your guesses. Yes, increase your knowledge. And increasing your knowledge is drawing a comparison. Okay, I got that answer, but then down here on number 7, they got a different answer. Okay, well, why do they have different answers? Well, let's look at the source. Okay, so now we got these 2 different sources. Well, let's take it a little bit further. Where's their source? What's their qualification to say that? Push it, guys. Push it. Run it through. So you limit your suffering. Because there's so much junk out there, they'll have you believe anything. Here, buy this. I'll solve this in just a few days. No, it's not going to get solved in a few days. And the sooner you wrap your head around that and you get a grip on that, then you will create an enemy that you will vanquish. And that enemy is that thing nagging you going, the puppy's killing me and it's eating my furniture and I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep it. And that's your puppy's enemy. You are your puppy's enemy. Yeah, it doesn't get a whole lot of say in this world. It doesn't do things on purpose to make you miserable and make you suffer. Those are self-inflicted wounds. Don't blame it on your puppy. Blame it on you. So create an enemy. And if you're your own worst enemy, I love hearing it. You bet. No more whining. We're done with it. And then lastly, will it to happen? Will it? I will succeed with this dog. I will do whatever it takes to make this happen. I will keep my children safe. I will keep my guests safe. I will keep other dogs safe. I will get the happiness, not that you deserve. No one deserves it. You have to earn it. Well, I'm going to earn it. I'm going to will it to happen. And when you will things to happen, it's been proven over and over and over again and throughout history. One of my favorite will it to happen moments is John F. Kennedy, the assassinated president, when he was struggling trying to get approval for us to send a man to the moon, to send a man to space in the moon. He says, you know, an Irishman loves his derby. He won't go anywhere without his derby. He loves his derby. So anytime an Irishman comes up with a problem that he thinks he can't solve, that he needs to will it to happen, he'll take his derby off and throw it over a wall. Because by golly, no matter how high that wall is, he's going to go get that derby. So JFK says we need to throw our derby over the moon. And guess what? We went to the moon. Will it? Throw your derby over the wall and go fetch your derby. I need you to do this. I embarked on this thing many months ago for a reason. To keep more dogs in households. Only in the household, only your household, do they have a chance. Do they have a chance at their happiness, a chance at a good life? Not just living, sustaining, living. There's a difference between just living and living good. There is a big difference in the two. And I get that we're in hard times. I understand it. But this is where we rally. This is where it is measured. This is where you go, I as a dog trainer, I'm not a dog owner, I'm not giving up my dog. I'm going to get through this. And I'm going to smile, cooperate, and graduate. Yeah, that's what we used to say in the military. Hey, man, smile, cooperate, and graduate. Just get through it. And every time you get through it, you got that in the bank. Hey, I got through it. So what's this thing coming up at me now? Huh, what? Really? That's something? What is that? That's nothing, man. I already got one in the bank. I'm going to have 2 in the bank, 3 in the bank, 4 in the bank. Yeah, I love it, man. It's not just a pep talk. It's the real deal. Spartan warriors in Greece years and years ago, I loved one of their sayings. They valued their shield. And when they went into battle, their rule was this. You can come out of that battle with it, your shield, or on it. Because they carried their dead on their shields. So are you going to be with it when it comes to your dog? Or are you going to be on it? So do it, guys. Be a psycho about your standards. Create an enemy that you're going to vanquish. And then lastly, you will it to happen. Will it? And then you send that to me. Because I've got your back. I will help you get through it. But no more whining. Because if you're going to whine, I'm not the guy to whine to. Go whine to somebody else. But when you contact me, you tell me, I got this thing, Bryan. I got it. It's a problem. Hey, can you help me just a little bit with this problem? Because I don't know if I got the knowledge that you're talking about. I will help you with that. But after that, solve your issue. Do it. And one day, tell dog, you'll get that big old smile on your face. And I look at him every day. And the day he dies, if I go first or if he goes first, we'll both know. Hey, brother, we gave it all we had. We gave it all. It was a good life. That little dash between the numbers, that's a darn good dash. That's what we want. All right, guys, I'll be coming at you tomorrow to talk about a situation in which you're walking your dog and all of a sudden it sees a squirrel. Oh, my gosh, the antithesis of all dog training, the good old fuzzy-tailed squirrel. What do we do? What do we say? How do we handle that? Not sure if I'll get any live squirrels to cooperate, but tell you what, we all have imagination. We'll use that. I'll check you guys out tomorrow. Again, chest out, shoulders back, chin up. Oh, heck. We got this thing all day, every day. And I'm with you. Take care.